All right, let's look at this. These examples. The first example is 2 divided by 7, all raised to the third, right? So if I were to rewrite this, this would be 2, just write it a little bit bigger, 2 raised to the first divided by 7 raised to the first, all raised to the third. So remember, if the exponent is outside, we're going to take this exponent and multiply every exponent inside, all right? Distribute it. So we have 2 to the third divided by 7 to the third, right? 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 1 here is 3. This, we can simplify it one more time, so that's 8, right? 2 to the third is 8. Divided by 7 to the third is 343. And if you leave it like that, that's fine. This next question, we have 2m to the third divided by 5p to the first, right? Remember, there's a 1 power there. This is all raised to the 0. So if you guys look back at the first video, anything, doesn't matter what it is, raised to the 0, it's going to be 1. All right, you don't really have to do anything. That's that. If it was z raised to the 0, it's going to be 1. If it was anything you can imagine, if it was a person, all right, raised to the 0 power, it's going to be 1. All right. Please keep that in mind. It's a very important concept, something you guys will see definitely in Algebra 2. The third example, we have x y to the third divided by x to the third times y, all raised to the negative 2. So let me erase this so I have a little bit more room. We have x raised to the first, right? Again, if they don't write that exponent, it's still there. Y to the third, x to the third, y to the first, all raised to the negative 2. We're going to take this negative 2, distribute it to every single exponent, all right? So this is going to become x to the negative 2, y to the negative 6, divided by x to the negative 6, y to the negative 2, all right? So just like the video before, I'm going to split this up with the x's and then the y. So negative 2 divided by negative 6, just so we have it kind of organized, right? We have y to the negative 6 divided by y to the negative 2, all right? If we were to simplify this even more, I'm going to write it down here, x negative 2 plus, right? Because negative, or well, we're subtracting, so negative times a negative is a plus 6, and over here we have negative 6. Negative times a negative is a plus 2. So this all becomes, all right, this all becomes x to the fourth times y to the negative fourth. But again, remember this negative, we can't have that. We're going to put this on the bottom, so your answer is x to the fourth, y to the fourth. All right. Make sure you guys understand all those rules before, because we're starting to use these more and more. We're starting to combine them, and it's going to get harder and harder, more difficult. And if anything, we'll do more examples in class just so you guys get the hang of it. All right. So we have 4x to the fifth y, all raised to the third, divided by 2x to the negative 1 y seventh, all raised to the fourth. So now we have here, this is kind of like from video 2, all right? We have multiples right here, multiplying right here, all these, and then raised to the third. These are all being multiplied, that's raised to the fourth. We're going to do it one by one. So we're going to multiply or simplify the top first, all right? So this top part actually becomes 4 raised to the, actually let's do this. We're going to split this up. 4 x5 y to the third. I'm just going to write it bigger just so you guys can see what's going on. 2 x to the negative 1 y to the 7th to the 4th, right? What exponent do we have on the 4? A 1, right? Please don't forget that. This exponent is on the outside, so we're going to distribute it to everything inside. 5, and what exponent does the y have? A 1. So we're going to distribute that. That's going to equal 4 to the third, x to the 15th, right? 3 times 5 is 15. Y y to the 1, so 3 times y, or 1 is 3. Alright? All over. Same thing over here, we have a 1 exponent right here. So we're going to take this 4, multiply, multiply, and multiply. So we have, on the bottom, we have 2 to the 4th, x to the negative 4th, y to the 28, right? 4 times 7 is 28. So let me make some more room. We have 4 to the 3rd divided by 2 to the 4th. So 4 to the 3rd, I'm just going to write these separate, 2 to the 4th. We have x to the 15 divided by x to the negative 4th. And then we have y to the 3rd divided by y to the 28. I don't know why that variable looks like that, but let's go on. So 4 to the 3rd is going to be 64. And that's a 4 right there. And 2 to the 4th is going to be 16. Alright? X to the 15th divided by x to the negative 4th. Again, same basis, so we can do x 15 minus negative 4. Alright? Minus negative 4. And then y, we have the same basis, so we have y 3 minus 28. So again, let's simplify more. 64 divided by 16th is actually 4, so this whole thing right here turns into a 4. 15 minus negative 4 is the same thing as 15 plus 4, so that's 19. We have 3 minus 28, so y 3 minus 28 is the same thing as negative 25. Alright? So all we got to do is multiply across. Remember, these are same thing as over 1 over 1 over 1. If we multiply across, actually before you even multiply across, what happens to this one right here? Because it's a negative exponent, this actually turns into 1 over y to the 25th. Alright, so let's multiply across. We have 4x to the 19th on top because they're positive, they don't move, they stay the same. Since this was negative, we changed it, so this actually goes on the bottom to the 25th. Alright, I know it's a long process, but hopefully you guys followed along. Alright, so for the next one, I'm gonna erase some of these just so I have more room. Alright. We have 3x to the negative 5, y all raised to the 3rd. So that first one, I'm just going to rewrite 3x to the negative 5, y raised to the 3rd. Exponent here is a 1, exponent here is a 1. Again, they don't write it, but you know it. Next, 18, x to the 9th, y to the negative 7th, all raised to the negative 2. Alright? So we got to simplify this. We're going to take this, multiply, multiply, and multiply. That's a 5, you guys. Alright? So that becomes 3 to the 3rd, x to the negative 15, and y to the 3rd. Alright? All over. We're going to take this one, we're going to multiply and multiply. Notice I didn't multiply it to the 18th because it's outside of the parentheses. It's not inside right here, so it doesn't affect it. So here we still have 18. X 9 times negative 2 is negative 18. And then y negative 7 times negative 2 is positive 14. Alright, so we got to simplify this more because there's still more to do. It's not finished yet. 3 raised to the 3rd, and I'm going to bring this down here. 3 raised to the 3rd is 27. And we have x to the negative 15, y to the 3rd, all divided by 18, x to the negative 18, y to the 14th. Alright, so I'm going to try to do it without, I guess, separating it and writing it all, because hopefully the more you do it, the easier it gets. I'm just going to separate it like this right here. Oh my god, that was ugly. Anyways, so 27 divided by 18th, if we were to simplify that, that's actually going to be 3 over 2. Alright? Next one, we have x negative 15 divided by x negative 18. So that's the same thing as negative 15. I'm going to write it over here. Minus negative 18, which is the same thing as x negative 15 plus 18, right? So that's going to be x to the third. So we have x to the third on top. Y to the 3, and let's do that up here, different color. Y to the 3 minus 14, so y negative 11, all right? So we have y negative 11. We're almost finished. We just need to simplify one more time. If we were to simplify that right there, right? If we were to simplify that right there, we have 3x to the third, right? And then this, because that's a negative exponent, we got to put it on the bottom. So it goes with the 2, 2y to the 11th. And that is our answer. All right? Last but not least, I know it's getting long, but let's finish this out. So we have 20, or negative 20, sorry, negative 20 times y, x to the 8th, y to the negative 10th, all raised to the 4th, divided by 24, x to the negative 9th, y raised that to the 5th. All right, so again, let's simplify these. Let's simplify this and write this a little bit bigger. We have negative 20, right? So x to the 8th times 4, right? There's an exponent out here. We're going to take this, we're going to multiply that. So we have x to the 32, right? So we have y. We have negative 10 times 4, so it's negative 40. So these numbers are getting a little bit more difficult, but bear with me. So 24, we can't do anything with the 24, so leave it, right? Because it's on the outside of the parentheses. Don't get it confused. So we have x, negative 9 times negative 5, that's a positive 45. And then y, this is raised to the first power, so 1 times negative 5, that's just negative 5. Alright? So let's simplify this a little bit more. Let me clear my space. If we simplify this 20 and divided by 24, that's going to be negative 5 over 6, right? 4 goes into 20 5 times, 4 goes into 6 times. X, I'm going to do the x's right now. X 32 minus 45, right? 32 minus 45, that is negative 13, so x negative 13, so we have, let's do it this way. Let's just leave it on top, x negative 13. And then we have y negative 40 minus negative 5, right? Was it negative 5 or was it 3? Yeah, negative 5. So we have y, sorry, negative 40 plus 5, so y negative 35, and that's going to be y negative 35, right? We're almost finished. We're almost finished. We can't leave these negatives up here, so they're both negatives, right? Since we can't have negatives, we're going to take both of them, we're going to put it down on the bottom, so our answer is going to be negative 5 all over 6 times x to the 13, y to the 35. Alright, I know this took a while, but hopefully you guys understood it. We'll do more practice in class, and in class, when we do the practice, please try them. Please try to finish the questions or the examples, and I will help you guys out. Alright?